YouTube channel Auto Touch 5. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting motorcycles of 2025, the all-new Aprilia 457 rupees. This machine has already set the motorcycle world on fire, and it's easy to see why. Whether you're a beginner, an experienced rider, or just someone who loves two-wheeled speed demons, the 457 rupees is a game-changer in every sense of the word. So, if you're curious about why this bike is turning so many heads, stick around. For more time, watch the video. The Aprilia 457 rupees is Aprilia's way of telling the world that you don't need a massive engine to have fun on two wheels. In fact, this bike strikes the perfect balance between power, agility, and modern technology, all wrapped in a sleek and aggressive package. It's designed for both the daily commuter and the weekend warrior who wants to tear up the twisties or hit the track. First off, let's talk about the heart of this machine, the engine. The 457 rupees is powered by a brand new, liquid-cooled, parallel twin engine that produces 47 horsepower. Now, you might be thinking, 47 horsepower? That's not exactly Superbike territory. And you're right, but this isn't a bike that's trying to compete with 200 horsepower monsters. Instead, it's a lightweight, nimble machine that's all about making you feel connected to the road. That 47 horsepower, combined with its lightweight design, gives the 457 rupees an incredible power-to-weight ratio. It's fast enough to thrill, but manageable enough that you're not going to scare yourself every time you twist the throttle. Speaking of weight, the 457 rupees tips the scales at just 175 kilograms, or about 386 pounds. That makes it one of the lightest bikes in its class. And when you combine that low weight with its responsive engine and sharp chassis, you get a bike that handles like a dream. Whether you're slicing through traffic in the city or leaning hard into corners on a mountain road, the 457 rupees feels planted, stable, and incredibly flickable. One of the things that really sets this bike apart is its frame. Aprilia has used an aluminum frame, which is a big deal because most bikes in this segment are stuck with steel frames. The aluminum frame keeps things light and stiff, which means better handling and more precise feedback from the road. It's the kind of detail that shows Aprilia isn't just phoning it in with the 457 rupees. They've put real engineering effort into making this a true Aprilia experience, even at the entry level. Now let's talk about the design, because we can't ignore how this bike looks. The 457 rupees borrows a lot of its styling cues from its bigger siblings, the 660 rupees and RS V4. It has that same aggressive front end, with sharp lines and aerodynamic winglets that give it a race-ready look. The twin LED headlights look menacing, and the fairings are sculpted in a way that screams speed even when the bike is parked. It's got that unmistakable Italian flair, and it's going to turn heads wherever you go. But the 457 rupees isn't just a pretty face. Aprilia has packed it with technology that makes it feel like a much more expensive bike. You get a full-color TFT display that gives you all the information you need, from speed and RPM to gear position, fuel range, and more. It's crisp, clear, and easy to read whether you're riding during the day or at night. And then there's the electronics package. This is where the 457 rupees really sets itself apart from the competition. You get ride-by-wire throttle, which allows for multiple riding modes that adjust the power delivery and throttle response to suit your mood or the conditions. There's also traction control, which is adjustable so you can dial it in for more or less intervention depending on your skill level or the road conditions. And yes, there's even a quickshifter. Available as an option, which lets you bang through the gears without using the clutch. That's a feature you usually only find on higher-end sport bikes, and it makes the 457 rupees feel like a true performance machine. The suspension setup is also worth mentioning. Up front, you get 41mm USD forks, which offer a good amount of travel and excellent damping for both street and track use. At the rear, there's a preload adjustable monoshock, which helps you fine-tune the ride for your weight and riding style. The suspension strikes a great balance between comfort and performance. It soaks up bumps and potholes without feeling soft or vague when you're pushing hard through the corners. Braking is handled by a single 320mm disc up front with a radially mounted 4-piston caliper, and a 220mm disc at the rear. It's not overkill, but it's plenty of stopping power for a bike of this weight and power. And of course, there's dual-channel ABS to keep things safe if you need to make an emergency stop. Let's talk about ergonomics. Aprilia has done a great job of finding the sweet spot between sport and comfort with the 457 rupees. The clip-on handlebars are low enough to give you a sporty, tucked-in position, but they're not so low that they destroy your wrists after an hour of riding. The footpegs are set a little high and rearward, giving you good ground clearance for cornering, but the overall riding position is still comfortable enough for everyday use. Whether you're commuting to work or spending a day on the backroads, the 457 rupees isn't going to punish you. One thing riders are going to love about the 457 rupees is its accessibility. It's designed to be approachable for newer riders, thanks to its manageable power and user-friendly electronics, but it's also engaging enough to keep experienced riders entertained. This bike fits into the A2 license category in Europe, making it a perfect step-up bike for someone who's outgrown their first 125cc or 250cc bike. But don't let that fool you, this isn't just a beginner bike. It's a serious piece of machinery that can hold its own on a track day. Fuel efficiency is another win for the 457 rupees. Thanks to its modern engine and lightweight construction, you can expect great mileage, making it a practical choice for commuters. But even if you're not worried about fuel costs, it's nice to know that you won't have to stop for gas every 100 kilometers. Another thing worth mentioning is the price. Aprilia has managed to pack all of this performance, technology, and Italian design into a bike that's surprisingly affordable. It's priced competitively with other bikes in the 400cc segment, but it offers a level of sophistication and features that most of its rivals just can't match. Whether you're buying your first bike or adding to a garage full of machines, the 457 rupees gives you incredible bang for your buck. If you're wondering about customization and accessories, Aprilia has you covered there too. You can get a quickshifter, as mentioned earlier, along with other upgrades like aftermarket exhausts, rear seat cowls, and even racing accessories if you want to take the 457 rupees to the next level. And of course, there's a range of Aprilia branded riding gear that looks just as good as the bike itself. In terms of competition, the 457 rupees goes head-to-head with bikes like the Kawasaki Ninja 400, Yamaha R3, and KTM RC 390. All of these are fantastic bikes in their own right, but the 457 rupees brings something different to the table. It's not just another small sport bike, it's an Aprilia, with all the racing pedigree and Italian style that comes with the name. It offers a level of refinement, performance, and design that makes it stand out in this crowded segment. Now, let's talk about how this bike feels on the road. When you twist the throttle, the 457 rupees responds instantly. The engine loves to rev, and there's a satisfying growl from the exhaust as you climb through the gears. The handling is razor sharp, and the bike feels eager to lean into corners. The feedback from the front end is excellent, giving you confidence whether you're riding on smooth pavement or less than perfect roads. It's playful, agile, and most importantly, fun. On the highway, the 457 rupees holds its own. It cruises comfortably at higher speeds, and there's enough power on tap to make overtaking easy. The wind protection from the fairing is decent, and you won't feel like you're getting battered by the wind on longer rides. And when you hit the twisty backroads or the track, the 457 rupees comes alive. It's light, nimble, and quick, everything you want in a sport bike. In conclusion, the 2025 Aprilia 457 rupees is a game changer because it brings big bike attitude and performance to a segment that's often overlooked. It's a bike that makes you feel like a racer without needing to be a professional rider. It's accessible, affordable, and packed with features that make it a standout in its class. Whether you're a new rider looking for your first sport bike, or an experienced rider who wants something fun and nimble, the 457 rupees delivers in a big way.